Good morning, everybody. It is so awesome that really I've been given the opportunity to give you guys the Saturday morning charge. Really, it's been an amazing week listening to all the different lessons and things that people have been really learning from God during this quarantine that we're going through. Just seeing how what's been going on, how they've been applying it to their lives, the different things that they've been challenged to do, the different things that really that they're going after. And now I really get to recap the very first week of it with what I've been learning. And honestly, I've just been learning so much throughout this whole thing. I don't know if you guys have known this, but I've been really studying out for the past few months a really deep study on the book of Acts. I really wanted to look into the book of Acts, study it out, because I wanted to see how the disciples in the first century were able to evangelize the whole world. How they were able to take what they had, the resources that they had, which was so incomparable to what we have now, and able to make the impact that they did. I wanted to see what secrets that they happened to have. What did Paul do? What did Peter do? What did the other apostles and disciples do during this time to be so effective? And really, that's the thing that's been on my mind during this quarantine the most is, how can I remain effective? I don't know about you guys, but for myself, I'm a person that when I'm at home, that's when I relax. That's my mindset of being at home is centered towards eating, relaxing, and sleeping. I need to find a way to get myself out of the house to start being productive. So during the quarantine, during the lockdown, it's been a total change of mind, a total shift in my attitude to still try and learn and fight to be productive. And as I was studying out the book of Acts, there were so many things that I learned. So much about Roman history, so much about Judaism and the traditions that they had, and just all these great different nuggets of information. But out of everything I learned and everything I read, what really stuck out to me the most just happened to be a part of a verse that really hit me, and I think showed a lot about why the disciples back then were just so effective. And it's in Acts 16:16, which says, "Once when we were going to the place of prayer, comma." And why this sticks out to me so much is that it's just such a side comment. It's just such an activity that I think they did so often that it didn't prompt its own call to attention. The fact that we, a group of them, went out to a place of prayer. This was something that they found traditional, something that they looked to do. And to me, it just showed how the disciples just had such a special relationship with God. You know, that whole secret thing that I was looking for the whole time, it wasn't a certain way that Paul happened to share with people. It wasn't the preaching that Peter happened to do. It was the fact that they all had a deep relationship with God, an inseparable relationship with God that motivated them to do all that they did throughout the book of Acts. The amazing trials that they stood up to, the persecutions and everything that came their way, they were unwavered because of their deep relationship with God, that deep prayer life. And really, as I see everything that's going on right now, I can just draw so many parallels to the Acts of the first century to now the Acts of the modern day century. It's almost like we've gone into the age of the Acts of the disciples on the internet. So we've been forced to be more creative, forced to take things up online. And really, I think that's the biggest thing, the biggest calling that I've heard the most is to be willing to change, to be willing to be flexible, move with God, how God is going to move, not get stuck in my ways of the same old tradition of how things used to be when it came to sharing, or it came to growing your relationships with people in person, to now taking that and denying myself even further and taking it online. And so just boiling it back down to everything, it's the same as it was back in the first century. How that we're going to remain effective now is how they remained effective then, which is the deep relationship that they had with God, the deep prayer life that they had with God, the fellowship that they fought for and had together, like in Acts 2, how they found ways to meet daily, to commune with each other, to enjoy each other's fellowship, and to talk about God. And so that's really the biggest thing that I took away from my whole study from the book of Acts, is that if you want to remain effective, if we need, as we need to be effective, we need to up our relationship with God. We need to find those times to pray more, to study it out more, to just enjoy our company with God. So that's really just my charge for you guys. I thank you so much for listening to this. I hope you have a great day. Amen.